A wonderful morning to all my dear learners. Welcome back to your English class. As you know, we have started grammar topic articles, and in our previous video, we covered the first two kind of articles, that is a or an. In today's video, we will be learning the various uses of article the. So shall we start? Uses of article the. The first rule says before unique objects or group of objects. Whenever we have got any unique object which is one of its own kind, then we apply the before it. For example, the earth, the equator, the universe, or you can say the moon, the sun. So these objects are one of their own kinds. So before using these nouns, we have to insert article the before them. Rule number 2 says, when a noun is introduced for the first time, we apply a or an before it. When you are introducing any noun for the first time, it is compulsory or it is important to use article a or an before it. But when the same noun is repeated for the second time or the more times, then we apply the. For example, read this sentence. I saw a boy and a girl in the garden. When I'm talking about a boy and girl for the first time, so I have applied a. I saw a boy and a girl in the garden. But when we repeat the same noun again, then we apply the. If I extend this sentence further and if I say the girl was crying and the boy looked confused, here the girl is repeated for the second time and the boy is also repeated for the second time. So that's why I have applied the before it. Let's see one more example. I saw dash owl on a tree. Got it? So you can see owl I have used for the first time. I applied an owl because of the vowel sound. And tree I have used for the first time. So I have applied a tree. Now if I say dash owl was horrible. Okay, now I have repeated the word owl again. And if it is the second repetition, I have to apply the before it. So I should say the owl was horrible. Clear, baby? Switch to rule number 3. Before superlative degrees. Whenever we use superlative degree, we apply the before it. For example, the highest, the lowest, the fastest, the most beautiful girl. So whenever we apply the superlative degree, we have to make sure that we apply the before it. Shall I make a sentence using the same? For example, today is the hottest day. So I know that hottest is the superlative degree, and when we have the superlative degree, it is must to apply the before it. Switch to rule number 4. Before ordinals like first, second, only, last, next, etc. We have got some ordinal numbers, and these numbers are first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 6th, 7th, 10th, 12th, 25th. So these numbers are known as the ordinal numbers, or including only, last, next, etc. If these words come, we apply the before it. For example, dash first chapter of this book is very interested. So I know that first is an ordinal number, so we will apply the. The first chapter of this book is very easy or interesting. My uncle lives my uncle lives on dash 7th floor of the building. So my uncle lives on the 7th floor of this building. Switch to rule number 5. What does rule number 5 say? What does rule number 5 say? Before a singular noun to present a class of animals or the things. When a singular noun, but it represents the whole class, the whole group of animals or the things, we apply the. Like dash elephant is the largest land animal. So one elephant is the largest land animal, or is it the characteristics of all the elephants, that all the elephants are the largest land animals? So one elephant is not the largest, all the elephants are the largest, so we apply the elephant is the largest animal. You can have one more example. Whale is a mammal, so one male whale is not a mammal, all whales are mammals, so we will say the whale is a mammal. The tiger belongs to a cat family, because all tiger belongs to the cat family. Rule number 6 says, before an adjective to represent a class of persons, sometimes we use an adjective, but this adjective is represents the whole class or a person, like the rich are glamorous. Okay, and if I say the second word, like rich, the poor are exploited. The poor are exploited. So the rich, the poor, I'm writing the examples, which words are included. The rich, the poor, the blind, the deaf. Got it? So these are the words or the adjectives which represent the whole class. So that was our rule number 6. Switch to rule number 7. Before the names of seas, rivers, groups of islands, chains of mountains, and deserts, before all these things, we will apply the before it, whether it is a sea name, river name, group of island name, the Arabian Sea, or the Pacific Ocean, or the Ganges, whatever these things are there, we apply the before it. The Indian Ocean, the Bahamas, the Himalayas, the Ganges, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, okay, the Himalayas, that is being written. So we have to apply the before it. Next one is rule number 8, before a surname in plural form to denote a family. Sometimes we just use the surnames to denote the whole family or the complete family, like the Sharmas, the Agarwals, the Vermas, the Guptas. So when we say these now, so that represent Mr. and Mrs. Sharma and their children. So we can even write like, let it be the small, the Varmas. Got it? Varmas is the surname, so V must be capital. Got it? The Guptas. We invited the Guptas for the party. We invited the Guptas for the party. Got it? Next one is before the names of the building, hotels and restaurant and museums and theaters and cinemas. If such famous buildings, hotels or the restaurants, museum, theaters are there, we will apply the before it. The White House, the Hyatt Regency, the Taj Mahal, the Victoria Memorial, the India Gate, the Qutub Minar. So these are our famous buildings. Before the names of newspapers and magazines, if we write any name of any newspaper or the magazine, we have to apply the before it. The Times of India, the India Today, the Economic Times, the Hindustan Times. There are so many newspapers, famous newspapers, esteemed newspapers, so we have to apply the before them. Next one is before the name of races, ethnic groups and communities. When we represent the whole races or the ethnic group or the communities, we have to apply the before it, like the Sikhs, the Chinese, the English, like the people who belong to Britain, who we call them British. Got it? The Hindus, Hindu community, the Christians. So these are our before the name of races or the ethnic groups, we apply the before. The next one is before the names of holy books or the sacred books. If we talk about the holy books or the sacred books, we apply the before it, like the Bible, the Gita, the Quran. I hope you would have heard these. Okay, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, these are our sacred books. So before than that, we have to apply the before it. Next one is before abbreviations. If we make the short form of something, if we write them in abbreviations, we apply the before it, like the UK, the USA, okay, the UAE, the UN. So these are the, then if we write something as the abbreviations, we have to apply the before it. Before the name of inventions, like if someone has invented something, who invented the aeroplane, who invented the steam engine, who invented the electric bulb. So the wherever you are, whenever you are mentioning any invention, we have to apply the before it. So these are the various rules of article the, where to apply. Okay, be it the noun represent the whole group, or be it an adjective represent the whole group, with the names of seas, river, oceans, group of islands, chain of mountains, deserts, etc., or be it the surnames of the family, or be it the famous buildings, hotels, restaurant, museums, theater, etc., be it the name of the newspapers and the magazines. So these are the various rule where we have to apply the before the